These early computers were massive, towering behemoths of technology. They took up entire rooms, often requiring specialized environments to keep them cool and operational. But within these colossal machines lay the potential for something revolutionary, electronic games that would captivate the imagination of future generations. One of the earliest examples of this potential was realized in 1947, marking a significant milestone in the history of gaming. Thomas T. Goldsmith Jr. and Estley Ray Mann, two visionary inventors, created a cathode ray tube amusement device. This device was designed to simulate a missile being fired at a target, a concept that was groundbreaking at the time. Players could control the missile's trajectory, adding an interactive element that was previously unheard of. They used knobs to adjust its path, a simple yet innovative control mechanism that laid the groundwork for future game controls. This simple game, while primitive by today's standards, planted the seed for what would eventually become a multi-billion-dollar industry. Early innovator. Throughout the 1950s, computers became more sophisticated, evolving rapidly in both capability and design. Universities and research labs served as incubators for early games, providing the necessary resources and intellectual environment for innovation. These early games were often text-based adventures, offering players a new form of interactive storytelling. Players interacted with the game by typing commands, engaging in a dialogue with the computer that was both novel and exciting. One such game was NIM, created in 1951, which challenged players to a mathematical game of strategy. NIM was not just a game, it was a test of wits and strategy, requiring players to think several moves ahead. It was one of the first games to showcase the computer's potential for entertainment, hinting at the vast possibilities that lay ahead. These early experiments may seem rudimentary compared to today's sophisticated games, but they were crucial steps in the evolution of gaming. Each experiment, each game was a building block, contributing to the foundation of an industry that would one day captivate millions. They laid the foundation for the future of interactive entertainment, setting the stage for the incredible advancements that were yet to come. The seeds of gaming had been sown, and they would grow into something far beyond what anyone at the time could have imagined. The world just didn't know it yet, but a new era of entertainment was on the horizon, ready to change the way we play forever. Building on this momentum, Steve Russell and his team at MIT created Spacewar in 1962. This game, played on a PDP-1 mini-computer, featured two spaceships locked in a gravitational battle. Players had to maneuver their ships. They fired torpedoes at each other, all while avoiding the pull of a central star. Spacewar was a landmark achievement. It introduced competitive gameplay and captivating graphics for its time. It quickly became a sensation among computer enthusiasts, early innovator. These early games were significant. They proved that video games could be more than just novelties. They could be engaging, challenging, and even social experiences. Tennis for Two and Spacewar ignited the imaginations of engineers and programmers. These pioneers saw a future where video games could captivate the world. The 1960s laid the groundwork for a revolution. The seeds of an industry had been planted. Soon, video games would begin their ascent from university labs to arcades and living rooms around the globe. In 1972, Atari, a fledgling company founded by Nolan Bushnell, released Pong. This simple yet addictive game, simulating table tennis, became an instant phenomenon. Pong was a cultural touchstone. It introduced video games to the mainstream and established Atari as a leader in the nascent industry. Arcade enthusiast. The success of Pong sparked a wave of innovation. Home consoles such as the Magnavox Odyssey, 1972, and the Atari 2600, 1977, brought the arcade experience into living rooms. These early consoles were rudimentary by today's standards, but they offered an unprecedented level of interactive entertainment for the home. The 1970s were a time of experimentation and growth. Game developers were pushing the boundaries of what was possible. New genres emerged, from sports games like Atari Football, 1978, to the maze-like adventures of Adventure, 1979. The foundation for the modern video game industry had been laid. Section 4, Pixels and Pac-Man, the arcade boom and home consoles. The The 1980s ushered in a golden age for arcade games, a period that would forever change the landscape of entertainment and technology. Games like Pac-Man in 1980, Donkey Kong in 1981, and Galaga in 1981 captivated audiences worldwide, drawing in players of all ages and backgrounds. Arcade enthusiast arcades became social gathering places where friends and strangers alike would come together to share in the excitement and challenge of these new digital adventures. Players lined up, quarters in hand, eager for a chance to conquer the latest digital challenges. The clinking of coins and the flashing lights created an atmosphere of anticipation and thrill. Pac-Man, with its iconic yellow protagonist and ghostly adversaries, became a global phenomenon. Its influence extended beyond the arcade, inspiring merchandise, television shows, and even a hit song. Its simple yet addictive gameplay transcended cultural barriers, making it a beloved game in countries around the world. The universal appeal of Pac-Man showcased the potential of video games as a form of global entertainment. Donkey Kong introduced the world to Mario, a character who would become synonymous with video games. This game not only set the stage for future Mario titles, but also established Nintendo as a major player in the gaming industry. Arcade enthusiast. The home console market also flourished during this time, bringing the excitement of the arcade into living rooms across the globe. The Atari 2600, with its diverse library of games, dominated the early 1980s. It became a household name, introducing millions to the joys of home gaming. New consoles such as the Intellivision in 1979 and the ColecoVision in 1982 emerged, offering improved graphics and gameplay. These advancements pushed the boundaries of what home gaming could achieve. The competition among console manufacturers fueled innovation, leading to rapid advancements in technology and game design. Each company strived to outdo the others, resulting in a golden era of creativity and progress. Game cartridges, allowing for a wider variety of games, became the standard. This innovation meant that players could easily switch between different games, enhancing the versatility and appeal of home consoles. Arcade enthusiast. However, beneath the surface of this booming industry, trouble was brewing. The rapid growth and success of both arcades and home consoles led to unforeseen challenges. A glut of low-quality games flooded the market as companies rushed to capitalize on the gaming craze. This oversaturation led to a decline in the overall quality of available games. Consumers, overwhelmed by the sheer volume of mediocre titles, became disillusioned. The excitement and novelty of video games began to wane as players struggled to find engaging and well-crafted experiences. This oversaturation, coupled with other factors such as economic downturns and increased competition, would lead to a crash that would shake the industry to its core. The gaming world faced a period of uncertainty, but it also set the stage for a future resurgence and evolution. Section 5. The Great Crash of '83, a crisis and a rebirth. This period was a defining moment in the history of video games, a time when the industry faced its most significant challenge yet. The year 1983 marked a turning point for the video game industry. What was once a burgeoning market filled with promise and excitement suddenly found itself on the brink of collapse. The once booming market experienced a sharp decline, sales plummeted, and the future of video games seemed bleak. This became known as the video game crash of 1983, home console developer. The crash was not just a minor setback, it was a full-blown crisis that shook the industry to its core. Overproduction of poor-quality games, coupled with competition from home computers, led to a glut in the market. The shelves were flooded with games that failed to meet consumer expectations. Consumers, burned by subpar experiences, lost confidence in video games. The trust that had been built over the years was eroding rapidly. The crash had a devastating impact. It wasn't just the companies that suffered, the entire ecosystem of developers, retailers, and consumers felt the shockwaves. Many prominent companies, including Atari, faced significant financial losses. Atari, once a giant in the industry, found itself struggling to stay afloat. Arcades, once bustling with activity, stood half empty. The vibrant social hubs of gaming were now ghost towns. The future of the video game industry seemed uncertain. Home console developer. Many wondered if video games were just a passing fad, destined to fade away. However, from the ashes of this crisis emerged a new era of gaming. the industry began to rebuild, learning from past mistakes and innovating for the future. Nintendo, a Japanese company known for its arcade games, entered the home console market in 1985 with the Nintendo Entertainment System, or NES. This move was a game changer. Nintendo's strict quality control measures, coupled with innovative games like Super Mario Bros. In 1985 and The Legend of Zelda in 1986, revitalized the industry home console developer. These games were not just popular, they set new standards for what video games could be. The NES ushered in a new era of console gaming, setting the stage for the industry's resurgence. It wasn't just a new console, it was a symbol of hope and renewal. The crash of 1983, while a dark chapter, ultimately led to a more resilient and innovative industry. The lessons learned during this time were invaluable. Lessons were learned, and the stage was set for a new generation of gaming experiences. The industry emerged stronger, more creative and ready to captivate the imaginations of gamers around the world once again.